Upset? Mary, this is more than upset. It's like, family traditions thrown away.
I didn't want to upset you, Sophia. I just cook the way I know.
No, we're not, Mary. Your pasta is, how you say, betrayal of ancestors. I can't believe my son married a non-Italian who can't cook.
Hey, everyone! Hey, friends. I'm Mary, and I spend my days writing technical stuff for a company downtown. It's a bit like translating complicated things into simple words. It's a hard job, and to unwind, I like to travel and explore different places. I am also a bit of a simple, free spirit. I like to wear t-shirts and cutoffs and tie my hair into a ponytail. I am not a fashionista. A few years ago, I wanted to tell you about my most recent trip to Italy. It was my very first time, and I was amazed at all of the historical sites as well as the great pizzas. I was just minding my own business when I met Marco, this cute Italian guy. At first, things were great. Picture this. I'm sitting at the iconic Trevi fountain, completely absorbed in my thoughts. Lost in the beauty of Rome, I accidentally dropped my iPhone into the fountain. And then, out of the blue, a kind stranger appears. It's Marco. He swoops down, picks up my phone in the fountain, and wipes it off with his shirt. To my amazement, the phone worked, and that's when our eyes met. We laugh about the little mishap, and as we talk, he shares that he's from New York too, and in Rome to visit his mother. His dad had recently passed away, and he was there to lend support and spend time with family. Fast forward, we hit it off, and love blossoms. We decided to get married too. A few weeks after we got married, Marco allowed his mother to come join us. After all, she was lonely in Italy because her husband died. At first, Marco's mother, Sophia, seemed pleasant and sophisticated, but after a few weeks in the household, she became more vocal and started complaining about my cooking.
Mary, I try your pasta with canned sauce. It, not making sense.
Sophia, I know you love our family recipes, but I find the canned sauce easier.
Easier? Mary, not just easier, it's, how you say, disrespectful to family cooking history.
Sophia, I do not mean to hurt feelings. I just like quick cooking.
Quick or not, your pasta, lacking the soul and, how you say, essence.
I'm sorry if it upsets you, Sophia. I just cook differently.
Upset? Mary, this is more than upset. It's like, family traditions thrown away.
I didn't want to upset you, Sophia. I just cook the way I know.
No, we're not, Mary. Your pasta is, how you say, betrayal of ancestors. I can't believe my son married a non-Italian who can't cook.
Well, Sophia, sorry if you feel that way. I'll still cook my way. Things didn't get better after that. Sophia and I argued over everything. She complained about the lack of Italian TV and forced me to subscribe to a channel. She also told me up front that I didn't dress classy like an Italian woman. Most times, I ignored the criticism and carried on with my regular work as normal. After a tiring day at the office, Marco suggested I talk to Sophia about going shopping and taking her to the Italian Cultural Center. The plan was for me to drop her off and pick her up, giving her a chance to meet new people and join clubs, hoping it would lift her spirits. I did this for several weeks, and it was exhausting driving to the center, and also taking her on mini trips to the hair salon or to meet a new friend at a coffee shop. I was outraged at all my running around, and Marco wouldn't do anything about this. One weekend, I looked forward to some time off, but Sophia informed me and my husband that she had invited 3 new friends from the Italian Center over for dinner. It became apparent that Sophia's friends were like her, older, stuck up, and critical. After I slaved over the dinner, I was heading back with their dessert when I overheard some whispering among the guests.
Did you look at her closely? I don't think she is pretty enough for Marco.
I agree. She looks old for her age. She doesn't dress very well. She's Asian, so her cooking is so bad. I am going to barf.
I am so sorry. Had I known her cooking would be so terrible, I would have ordered in food or made it myself.
Come to my house and we will have a real meal.
After spending the evening with Sophia's friends, I was angry beyond words. I felt tired and annoyed, so I talked to Marco about it. I told him I was fed up with the gossip and criticism, and that maybe his mom should leave for a while to ease things. Marco didn't understand. He said I was too sensitive and needed to learn Italian and adapt to the family. It made me feel unheard and unsupported. I explained that it's not just about being sensitive, it's about feeling included and not judged all the time. I also mentioned the language barrier, but Marco blamed me for not learning Italian and said his mom won't leave. and I need to adjust. The argument with Marco left me sad and confused. I tried to tell him how tough it was for me, but he said I needed to change. He even said I could leave if I didn't like things. Feeling upset, I went to my room and cried a lot. Later, I heard Marco and his mom arguing in the kitchen. She threatened to leave if I didn't cook better and act differently. Marco promised he'd make me change. The next day, I packed my things and went back to live with my parents. I needed to think about my relationship and hoped that Marco would tell Sophia to treat me more respectfully. But 2 weeks later, I got a text from Marco requesting a divorce. In the meantime, Marco and Sophia were living in the house that I helped us buy. It made me sad. In the end, we decided to sell the house and split the proceeds. Because it was a tight market, we got a reasonable price for the house and gladly gave Marco's share to him. With my share of the money, I bought a condo and lived in it with my pets. Marco also used the money to buy a condo, but the place was smaller than our previous house, which made Sophia take issue with what happened. I suddenly got lots of text messages from Marco's mother, who was blaming me for the whole thing.
Mary, all these problems are because of you. I am stuck living in this dump, and this mess is all your fault.
My fault. You made me work night and day for you. You never gave me credit for anything. You are the one who wanted Marco to divorce me.
You are just a no-good Asian woman. My son should have married an Italian woman in the beginning.
Don't text me anymore. Goodbye and good riddance. A year ago, I found out that Sophia's friend, Lucia, introduced her beautiful daughter Samantha to Marco. She was born and raised in Rome and loved to cook Italian food. This woman and Marco hit it off, and I was even invited to their traditional Italian wedding. I didn't do too badly myself and ended up dating a fellow at my workplace. Daniel is also divorced, and he and I spend our evenings together. We are planning to get married next year. Things seemed to be going normal until yesterday when Sophia came to my house in tears, asking me to live at my place. She told me Marco found out that Samantha was making money as a sex worker on OnlyFans. She had thousands of followers and was making tons of money. The only thing is that the tax department says Samantha owes them $1 million in tax penalties because she hadn't filed an income tax in years. Marco hadn't any idea how Samantha was making money and was spending her money on investments that tanked. They are now bankrupt, and Sophia needs a place to stay. Marco was also planning to divorce his new wife. He begged me to take him back too.
Please forgive me, Mary. I made a mistake.
It's too late. I have a new life now.
Don't forget how we met. I saved your phone. Remember our fabulous nights together.
I want to move on. If you weren't such a mama's boy and listened to your mother all the time, things might have been different.
Please, I don't have a place to stay. Let me and Mom stay with you. I promise things will be different.
Go away. You created this mess. I also received a text from Sophia asking me to take her and her son back, but I refused to budge. She told me she is constantly harassed and she is staying in a women's shelter because Marco lost his home due to bankruptcy. She says she has no idea where Marco is and is afraid he is doing drugs and living on the streets because his wife introduced him to crack cocaine. Sophia says she is working at Walmart and will gladly pay for a room with me, but I told her off. I said I was sick of her insults and her bossiness. Weeks later, I heard she was so rude to an ex-Navy SEAL who beat her up before the police came, and she had to spend days in the hospital with a broken nose. She get what she deserved. I have no sympathy for people who are rude, racist, insulting, and unappreciative. What would you do?